Hi, this is Rick Ballou from Veterans News and Special Reports. The explosion you heard probably was my landmine in the back of the studio. Those two Yahoo must have tripped one. All right, now, without further ado, let's get down to what we're talking about. Today, we're talking about the corruption of the Veterans Administration and the people that did it and how they did it very secretly and was done without your notice. All right, the first person we want to look at is William Fulbright. William was a senator from Arkansas. He was elected first in 1945, and he was chairman of the what was that? Okay. Chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee as a Southern Democrat. Now, this man had extreme power. This man wanted to get rid of the Veterans Administration's Vietnam veterans. He wanted them out of the war. He wanted to keep desegregation of the military. He was upset with Johnson for not helping him make that goal work. Now, he also ran other programs from 1966 to 1971 to get rid of Johnson and get out of the war in 90 days. Now, his buddy, you'll see coming up, is... Let's see. Yep, okay. Is Vance Harkey. Now, Mr. Harkey was from Indiana, and he was a senator, a Democrat from Indiana, and from 1959 to 1977. Now, this gentleman was a type of person that would do anything if you greased his palm. Now, the reason he would do it was he was well educated, did serve in the military. He ran for president in 1972, but didn't even get past the primaries. Now, Mr. Harkey wrote a book thanks to William Fulbright's mom, which owned a newspaper and publishing company, and where Fulbright was from. Now, this is the book. It's called American Crisis in Vietnam by Senator Harkey, and you can see that it is a library book. It's a library book through all the United States, published. Now, this was an anti-war book done by Mr. Fulbright and Vance Harkey working together. They were both had all kinds of money thanks to Mom, and was given these books, and I have the last one. Now, Mr. Fulbright, he got a committee together. It's the Foreign Relations Committee. Now, Mr. Fulbright, as you can see, this notebook here with all of the different 16 members of the anti-war Democrats and Republicans. All of them were segregationists. Some were in the Klan. Some of them were Republican liberals, and different people that you didn't really know what was going on because they didn't tell you that they were doing these type of things. Now, the other part of the scenario is this one here is talking about from 1946 to 1966, the beginning of the Vietnam War. How did it start? We explained to you how it started, who did it, how they did it, working with who. Now, the Vietnam War was from 1951, as I explained earlier, the CIA was working operations in Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam. They were also running drugs out of the two countries, thanks to Mr. Forbes and his family. You'll also be able to see in this book area that Mr. Kerry helped them get the war started. Mr. Kerry was a CIA operative in Norway and helped them get the boats for the Tonkin Gulf incident, which Mr. Harkey and Mr. Fulbright turned around and used against him to keep him from re-election. Now, they knew what was going on, and they knew how to do it. They are very smart. But Mr. Harkey, which you can see here, was the very first person in the Senate to run the Veterans Administration in 1970, and they called it the Veterans Administration until he took over the committee and made it the Veterans Affairs. That's number 3 name. That's the third name. And he regulated what the VA did, plus he took over all the funding of the billions of dollars per year on where it went, who did it, and how it was done. You won't believe what they did to socialize the Veterans Administration. Yes, it was socialized medicine, as it is today. It's not an American type thing, but it is socialized medicine. So the different things go on in this country that people just don't know. Our kids today don't know history. Half of them knew a little bit about the Vietnam War. Why? Because the Vietnam veterans were war criminals, drug addicts, people that their grandfathers were not respected because they were criminals. So, without further ado, let's see if we can get this show on the road. Thank you.